Welcome to the Spirit Rock Music YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about Avicii's Wake Me Up, and unlike other videos on this channel, here I focus mostly on the music video. Of course we'll take a look at the lyrics as well, but it's the video here that fascinates me most and that tells a story in its own right that really impresses me. So Avicii's 2013 song Wake Me Up, which was released as a single first and then included on his debut album True, is one of the most successful singles ever. So it was written by Avicii, Tim Bergling, Mike Einzinger and Aloe Blacc. It went to number 1 in many countries, including several US charts, but not the Billboard Hot 100. It was also number 1 in over 20 other countries like Australia, Brazil, France, Germany, Israel, the UK, both singles charts and dance charts, and a couple of more. And besides, Avicii was the first song ever to hit 200 million streams on Spotify, and it reached that mark in February 2014. The official video of Wake Me Up has been viewed more than 2 billion times already, which is really an incredible mark. It was released a few weeks after the single in July 2013. And the video tells a story in its own right, beyond the lyrics. So two girls, who apparently are sisters, suffer in their little village from being different to the other residents, most of whom look at them dismissively. Both girls have a special tattoo on their arms, a symbol of 2 triangles facing opposite directions, with a little gap in between, which they hide under their clothing. One day, while the young girl is still asleep, the older girl rides off on a horse to a nearby city. The video features impressive images of her path, straight along a plantation, towards the mountains, then crossing a river before finally reaching the city, riding along an empty highway into Fashion District, along monumental buildings. She ties the horse to a mast and then meets the first person. As opposed to herself, the young lady who passes shows her bare shoulder. The girl turns around, the same tattoo appears on the lady. They meet, and soon she is welcomed by a group of people. They drive to a party, they dance, and a lot of people show the same tattoo openly. The girl then returns home to her younger sister and makes her pack up immediately. "Where are we going?" "Somewhere we belong," she smiles. This time they have to walk all the way until they both get to dance with all the immediately welcoming, equally tattooed people. Now, before we look at the video from a spiritual perspective, let me just say I don't take any credit for the ideas how to interpret this video. I heard it mentioned in a talk somewhere, and the setting was so that I can't credit anyone specifically. But it was not my idea. I have no written text to relate to. When I watched the video, I could relate very well to the ideas that I heard there. So let's see if that makes any sense. The story certainly makes sense when taken literally, and it is easy to identify with the girls feeling lost in their village and so warmly welcomed in the city, where they find like-minded people to party with. From a spiritual perspective, the girls could be aspects of the same human being. The older girl might symbolize the soul, while the younger girl represents human personality. The soul, at least if it is not entirely caught up in worldly worries, can access a wider range of experience than the human, who usually can only overlook his own short lifespan. This human being is a seeker already at the beginning of the video. She or he has realized that there's nothing to expect from life as she or he knows it. There must be more, only where can this more be found? The soul gets to see the light. It is a classic start to a spiritual journey. The soul receives a clear impression of light, while everyday awareness is asleep. It is the soul that experiences a higher state of being first. Many people's souls may receive such inspiration. However, it is the question how we, as a human personality, react. Here in the video, the younger sister is ready to follow her soul's leadership. She knows deeply there is not much to lose compared to maintaining her old life in the village. At night, when there's no distraction from the senses and ordinary awareness retreats, the soul is open to impressions from a different realm. Her purity determines which realm she will connect to. Here, the soul aspect is called from its true home. She can move much more lightly than the human's physical body, an attribute nicely symbolized by the horse. The contrast between people in the village and in the city. The people in the village disapprove of the seeker. She is longing for something different. She cannot live life like the other people, surrendering to hopelessness, getting sucked up in everyday routine. They don't like her, maybe because she has maintained a spark of light that they have lost access to, and they don't like to be reminded of their loss. It feels like they have built walls around them. Many seekers have been called fools for aiming at something that cannot be grasped by common sense. The people in the city are much more open and welcoming. They are well connected to their innermost spark of light, and so have overcome the need to separate from others. At the level of the soul, there is no division, just unity. No fear, no envy, no need to pretend to be anyone special. No need to hide weaknesses and wounds. The human and the soul need to go the path together. A second contrast is that between the rather quick ride on the horseback by the older girl and the much slower walk when the two girls leave the village together for good. It is a typical experience at the beginning of a spiritual quest. A seeker finds a new group, a new philosophy, a new impulse, a new insight into the purpose of her life. She is enthusiastic and may expect quick progress because everything suddenly makes sense, everything feels right, and so she feels very close to the goal. However, all aspects of the old being need to be transformed. The soul, with all its lightness, needs to team up with the human, with his weaknesses, his lack of discipline, his susceptibility to distraction, and so the journey may turn out longer and more arduous than anticipated. We can look at other songs that also illustrate this idea of the connection between the human and the soul, for example, Leonard Cohen's Ballad of the Absent Mare or Bob Dylan's Changing of the Guards. Let's think a moment about Fashion District. When the older girl first reaches the city, she enters Fashion District at about 2 minutes into the video. This might be a hint at a finer level of fashion, not clothes to exchange arbitrarily, but maybe a soul garment. In spiritual contexts, including the Holy Bible, clothes have often been used in that sense. And to think of another song, we can think of Scarborough Fair, that has been popularized by Simon and Garfunkel. So let's take a look at the lyrics. Is Wake Me Up just a popular summer hit? Vocalist and co-author Aloe Blacc stated in Today that when touring he realized what a great life he was having. Quote, "Wake me up when it's all over," end of quote, and the lyrics evolved from there. So, more quotes from the lyrics. "Feeling my way through the darkness, guided by a beating heart. I can't tell where the journey will end, but I know where to start. They tell me I'm too young to understand. They say I'm caught up in a dream. Well, life will pass me by if I don't open up my eyes. Well, that's fine by me." End of quote. So, to me, the lyrics work on several levels. On the one hand, they may express the joy of the moment. Quote from the lyrics, "So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and I didn't know I was lost." End of quote. So the lyrics may not only express the joy of the moment, but they may also hint at a search for the truth deep within. An important step is realizing that something is missing. Quote, I didn't know I was lost. So growing up, we might get depressed about the state of the world, but that doesn't help. Another quote from the lyrics, I tried carrying the weight of the world, but I only have 2 hands. I hope I get the chance to travel the world, but I don't have any plans. I wish that I could stay forever this young, not afraid to close my eyes. Life's a game made for everyone, and love is the prize. End of quote. So love can also, of course, relate to several levels. It could relate to finding a dear partner, a soulmate, as well as reconnecting to the light, as spiritual love songs describe. So to close off, I think that especially in combination with a movie, the song sends a strong message, encouraging us to follow our soul's voice. And now I'm keen to hear your views. How do you see the lyrics? How do you relate to the music video? Has it inspired you? And yeah, can you make some sense of this interpretation, or how would you see it? Keen to hear that. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. All the best for your own quest. See you next time. Ciao.